نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah. We are about to start our today's session. In the last session, we briefly talked about the fifth article of faith, which was the belief in the hereafter, or the belief in the day of judgment, as we said. So in the last session, we discussed about it that when it comes to belief in the day of judgment or belief in the hereafter, it is not only one thing. It is a package deal, okay? So there are multiple things and multiple aspects of the day of judgment or hereafter that we need to believe in. There is not only one particular thing, okay? There are varieties of things which actually start with our death, and it just goes on and goes on, okay? So there are a lot of points that we need to believe in. If we have any kind of doubt about those things, then that would be very problematic, okay? We will, even if you don't have any idea about those things, maybe you don't know, that's not a problem. But if you have a twisted version of belief, okay, in yourself, then that would be a problem. So that's why we need to have a clear idea about the aspects of the day of judgment and what should we believe when it comes to believe in the hereafter. What are the things that we need to believe in? Okay, so for many people, when it is the end of life ends with death. Okay, when you die, everything just finished. There is nothing more. Okay, so that's why they don't think beyond their death. They don't tend to think about that. They're just having fun and doing a lot of stuff, just thinking about that when we die, it is done, it is over. So let's enjoy as much as possible. Let's do whatever you want in this life. Let's enjoy properly as long as you live. That is the case for many people who are not believer in the hereafter, who doesn't believe that there is a life after death and what's coming, what we actually believe. So that is the difference, okay? So obviously, the difference between us and them are so many. Among those differences is we believe in the day of judgment, we believe in the hereafter, and that's why we have to have a clear idea about the particular things which are included in the hereafter. Okay, what are the things that hereafter includes? We need to believe in those things. So we need to know those things. Okay, so in the last session, briefly, we talked about this matter. We talked about in the day of judgment, and we said there are multiple stages of akhirah. Akhirah means hereafter. Okay, so first of all, we will be put in our grave when we die. Okay, and for many this is the over, but for us this is just the first stage of everlasting life. Okay, there will be a life, there will be no death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will stop the time. Okay, you will not grow, you will not age anymore. Okay, nobody will age. They will be forever exactly the way they are. Okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless the good people and the believers with whatever they want. Okay, so there are some stages we will have to go through, and there is no escape from those things. Okay, so first of all, we believe there is a life in the grave. This life this particular stage is called barzakh. Okay, barzakh. If you pronounce it in Arabic, it will be like barzakh. Okay, so it will be like this, barzakh. Okay. What is barzakh? Barzakh is life in the grave. Life in the grave, and life in the graves will be like will be two types. First of all, for those who are good people, for those who are believers, who are faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for them life will be different in barzakh. And those people who are not that, like blessed, and who had a very different life in this dunya, so they will have totally a different life in barzakh. Okay, so this is the day of, this is the first stage of our, qabr or makbar, or the life in the grave. This is the first stage of the akhirah, of the hereafter. And then there will be blowing of the trumpet. When the time comes, Allah knows when. The angel called Israfil, he is waiting. He has been waiting for so long to, with the trumpet. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order him, he will blow the trumpet. And there will be the sound of whistle, and everybody on the earth, on the face of the earth, they will die. And there will be another blow, another whistle, and the heavens and the earth, everything, mountains and everything will be destroyed. Okay, there will be like huge earthquake, and everything, like will be vanished. Okay, and everything will settle down just like a field. There will be no, higher place, and there will be no lower place. Everything will be settled down. And there will be another blow. With that blow, people will get up from their sleep, from their, death, and that will be, that is called resurrection. Okay, people will, get up, and from their qabr, from their grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will resurrect them. They will be resurrected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them life again. And then everybody will be running towards one direction. Everybody will gather. In a narration, we get that this place is actually, that the Arafah, okay, in Makkah. So this will be the center, and everybody around the world, they will be running toward that place, and they will gather there. So there will be a huge gathering, and everybody will be waiting. What everybody will be saying, Ya nafsi, Ya nafsi, Ya nafsi. Ya nafsi means, what will happen to me? What will happen to me? What will happen to me? Okay. So that time, everybody will recall, oh my God, what did we do? How little the time of dunya was. What did you do? Only in that waiting period will be like more than 50,000 years. Okay, the waiting period that everybody will be waiting, that when will the judgment begin? Okay, when will the judgment begin? When will Allah come and start the judgment? Everybody will be waiting, and that waiting period will be, way more than 50,000 years. And you can compare that time with this dunya. And everybody will just think, how foolish we were in the, when we were on the earth. How foolish we were in the dunya. For that much little bit of time, we ran after the pleasure of dunya. We ran after the money and wealth and everything. We forgot Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just for a little bit of time. 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, more, maximum 100 years. So that tiny amount of time, for that tiny amount of time, we spent our everything for this dunya, and now we are here. Okay, so how foolish we were. If we only had the chance to go back to dunya, and if we could do some better thing, okay, if we could spend our time productively, we would be like saying these things that time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show up and everybody will be like silent. Okay. So finally the judgment will begin and everybody will be given the record books. Whatever you did in this dunya, whatever we are doing in this dunya, everything is being recorded. And that record book will be delivered to us. And that every single thing will be on our eyes, in front of our eyes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will go through every single detail about thing that we are doing and we are spending, we are going through. And there will be questions after questions after questions after questions. Okay. First of all, there will be question about salat. Okay. Are we following the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about salat? Are we that faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we offer regularly our salat? That will be the first question. There will be a lot of questions. How did you spend your youth, your younger age? How did you spend? How did you spend your money? Where did you spend your money? How did you spend your time? These are the questions we will be first asked. And there will be a lot of questions. Every single thing of this dunya, everything will be asked. You've cheated you cheated, someone, then, you will be judged. You will be held accountable for everything you are doing. And then finally, there will be measurement. There will be, your deeds will be measured. Your wrong deeds and your good deeds will be measured, will be compared. And whichever deeds will be heavier, if your good deeds are heavier, then you are okay. And if your bad deeds are heavier, then, that is very bad. Okay. So then our whatever we are doing, everything is being recorded, and that book will be given to us either in our right hand or left hand. Okay. Those people who will be given their deeds in their right hands, they will be the, lucky ones. And those who will be given the books in their left hands, they are the losers. Okay. Then there is Kausar. House al-Kausar. House Kausar means that there is a particular, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will be giving special kind of drinks to his followers, the special people that he loved. Okay. And those people who will be given that Kausar, they are the very lucky people, because at the time of, during this judgment time, the sun will be very close to us, and there will be very, so hot, the circumstances, and everybody will be suffering from the heat. And the one who will get to, drink the water or have the drink, they will have no suffer. Okay. So they will be pretty, they will having fun and a lot of stuff. So there will be, after that, there will be, will be a bridge, a very narrow bridge, a syrup. And everybody is supposed to, cross that bridge. Okay. So those people who are good people, believers and faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will be very easy for them to cross the road. But those who are not that easy, okay, they will not be able to cross the bridge. They will fall down, and guess what? In the beneath of that, road or bridge is the hellfire. Okay. They will just go down to the hellfire. Okay. And who will get to, cross the road or bridge? After the, road, there will be Jannah. They will go to the Jannah. Okay. So these are the finally, there will be people in Jannah. There will be people in Jahannam. In the Quran, we can see that people who are in the day of, who will be in Jannah or who will be in Jahannam, they will have a little bit of chat. And, if you read those verses, there will be tears in your eyes. I promise. Okay. Because if you think about those things, that what will be the suffering of them, and how much, like they could repeat, they will be repeating one thing, that, oh, we wish we could go back to the dunya and do the good stuff. Okay, spend our time in some good way, in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we wouldn't miss the salah, if we wouldn't, like miss any commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that will be their wishes that time. Okay, so, and there will be shafa. Shafa means Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will, intercede, and he will tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will appeal for some special people of his ummah, those who are about to go to Jahannam. But Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will request to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and by his request, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pardon them and will enter them into Jannah. So we don't know who those people are. We can understand some of the characteristics of those people who actually try to follow Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in their life. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will make shafa for them. Okay, so we that's why we don't, no matter how much struggle we have to go through, no matter what are the sacrifices that you have to make, we have to think about it, that these are nothing actually. Okay, the one who is the the most unhappy person in the on the face of earth, when he will be visited, okay, the Jannah, he will say after getting out of the Jannah, that what is sorrow. He will forget the sorrow and everything. Okay, there will be no grief, there will be no sorrow in him. And who is the most happiest person on the face of earth? He will be just, he will be in the Jahannam, and he will forget everything, and he will ask, what is happiness? He will even forget the happiness, what happiness is. So these are nothing actually what we are going through. We have to focus on the day of judgment. We have to focus on the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us questions. We have to focus on the fact that we are here for a test, nothing else. There is a permanent place, permanent life after death, and we better take preparation for that. We better take preparation for that. Otherwise, everything we are doing, it will be over very soon. Our life will be, put to the end very soon. And so there is nothing which will stay forever in this dunya. Okay, just the forever thing, the everlasting life starts with our death. We better prepare ourselves for that moment and that time, because if you get nothing in this dunya, but if you are okay with the hereafter, then you are okay. And if you get everything in this dunya, the happiness, the wealth, and everything, but your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not okay, then you are a true loser. You get nothing. So that's why we need to focus on who we are actually. Okay, as Muslims, we need to think about these things, that we are not like other people. If people are doing a lot of stuff because they don't have this belief, we have this belief. We can be like others. We should be different, and we will be different, inshallah. Okay, because we will be different in the day of judgment from the other people. When everybody, like other people who don't have belief, who don't have the, like the faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are not doing the good stuff, when they will go to Jahannam, we are the ones who will get the Kawthar of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who will get the Shafa of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and who will cross the road to the Jannah. Okay, so we need to think about it. If you are a clever person, if you are a smart one, then you need to think about it, and you need to take a decision that what is your priority, this 60 years, 100 years life, or the forever everlasting life. Okay, which one do you choose? Okay, so that's the thing we need to believe in, and we need to prepare for our death, for our hereafter, because this life is nothing comparing to the hereafter and what comes after death. So this is the very important thing. If you believe, if your belief in the day of judgment and your belief in the hereafter is okay, then like your lifestyle will be changed. Your your the way you are leading your life will shape in a different way. Okay, it has to be like this. So this is very important thing. We will read about it more and more, and we will think about it, and we better start from today. Okay, we better make our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is truly close to us and who can give us salvation, and we can get the real pleasure in this life and the next through the relationship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is nothing else. There is no other way around. Okay, so we need to be clever. We need to be smart about these things. These are very, very important things. Okay, so this was the lessons in the last session. I wanted to talk to you. So there were some other things as well. There were like conditions of salah. I think you read these things. I will send the lecture sheet. I couldn't in the last session. I will do. And today we have our session number 12. We will just go through a hadith, which will be one hatred and envy, and there will be a dua, and there will be a thing about our life. Okay, so first of all, the hadith. This particular hadith is from Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, an Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, la tahasadu wa la tabaghadu wa la tadabaru wa kunu ibadallahi ikhwana wa la yahillu li muslimin an yahjura akhahu fawqa thalath. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrated, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, do not envy one another. La tahasadu, do not envy one another. Wala tabaghadu, do not hate one another. Wala tadabaru, do not turn your backs on each other. Wakunu ibadallahi ikhwana, but O slave of Allah, be as brothers to each other. Be as brothers. Kunu, be ikhwana, brothers. Ibadallah, O slaves of Allah. وَلَا يَحِلُّ لِمُسْلِمٍ أَن يَهْجُرَ أَخَاهُ فَوْقَ ثَلَاثٍ. And it is not permissible for any Muslim to desert, that means to not to talk to his Muslim brother or fellow Muslim for more than 3 days. Okay, for more than 3 days, if you are angry with someone, if you are in a fight with someone, doesn't matter, you cannot go like 3 days, more than 3 days without talking to them, with the hatred, okay, in you. So sometimes you don't meet with other people, that's why you don't talk. But when you are going through the same way, you meet every day, but you don't talk because there was a fight among you and there was something going on. That's why you don't talk. It cannot be more than 3 days. Okay, if it is more than 3 days, then we have to understand that there is something wrong with our iman. There is something that we are not properly following the Islam. We are not properly following the teaching of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So la tahasadu wa la tabaghadu wa la tadabaru. Three don't, and don't. What are those things? Don't envy one another. Don't hate each other. Don't turn your backs on each other. Wakunu ibadallah. One do's. What is that? Be as brothers, O slaves of Allah. وَلَا يَحِلُّ لِمُسْلِمٍ أَن يَهْجُرَ أَخَاهُ فَوْقَ ثَلَاثٍ. And it is not permissible for any Muslim not to talk to his brother more than 3 days. Okay, so this is the hadith we'll memorize, inshallah. This is a little bit of explanation. Okay, you'll read it, inshallah. And this is the Masnun Dua, what we should read when we are entering the mosque. I think we all know this. Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. We can start with Bismillah, though. Bismillah, Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. You can say that, or you can just say Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. Allahumma means, oh Allah, iftah, open, li, for me. Abwaaba means doors. Rahmatik, your rahmat, your mercy. Oh Allah, open the gates of your mercy for me. Open the door of the mercy. Open the gates of the mercy of your mercy for me. Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. Oh Allah, open the stages, open the gates of your mercy for me. Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. When you are entering the mosque, when you are leaving the mosque, exiting the mosque, Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Oh Allah, I ask for your favor. Allahumma, oh Allah, inni, indeed I as'aluka, ask you min fadlik, for your favor. Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Together, oh Allah, I ask for your favor. I ask for your favor. Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Oh Allah, I ask for your favor. So Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik when you are entering the mosque, and when you are leaving the mosque, Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Okay, today's topic is self-respect. This is a very important thing. Okay, it is not, if you just ignore the Islamic perspective, self-respect is a very important thing. I think we all are aware of. Okay, in Islamic perspective, it is also very important. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was a person with a great deal of self-respect and self-esteem, as well as self-confidence. Okay, so if you study Sirah, if you study the life of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you will understand that the way he lived, the way he laid his life, the way he lived, the way he treated others, the way he behaved with others, okay, the way he reacted in every single, circumstances in his life, he never compromised his respect and his honor, okay, when it comes to his, risala or nubuwa, or the, being the, the prophet, okay. So sometimes you need to be humble in your life. Sometimes you need to be kind in your life. Sometimes you need to be very, soft for others. This is very good, but that doesn't mean that you have to, compromise your self-respect. Okay, what is exactly the self-respect? We need to have that idea in our mind, as well as we need to have a great deal of idea about what are the things that will help us to increase our self-respect. Okay, so if you don't have self-respect, that means you are humiliating yourself. You don't even know how you are humiliating yourself. Okay, so Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said it is not permissible for a believer to humiliate himself. You cannot humiliate yourself. Okay, so that means you need to be careful about yourself. You need to observe yourself, that how you are behaving, how you are dealing. Okay, so there are a lot of things what actually question your self-respect. So those things we need to avoid. Okay, so there are some things which Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that, your personality is very important. So there are some things that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala dislike, okay, and which actually affect in your self-respect and your, personality. Those people who talk too much, wherever they go, they can't keep silent. Just, everything, they are, they can't just stop. They're just talking and talking and talking. The more you talk, the more mistake you make. Okay, and you are not a self-respected person, or a person with a great personality if you talk too much. we need to avoid useless talk. Okay, so these three things actually we need to avoid if we are if we are if you want to make ourselves of a great personality, and if we really want to be a self-respected person. First of all, we need to talk less, and we need to avoid all kind of useless talk and useless jokes, useless pranks, this type of things. We need to avoid these things. Second, wasting wealth and time. There is one thing mistake, time. Wasting wealth and wasting time. These are the works, obviously not of those people who are who have the great, who hold the great personalities, okay, who are the self-respected person. So these things actually contradict. With the idea of self-respect, okay, and the self, like esteem and the personality, okay. And another thing which is very, very important, which is constantly asking others about, you have a lot of, you can manage in way what you need, but you are asking. So the more you ask other about health, about different things, your self-respect will go down. Okay. So because you cannot be self-respected unless you are dependent. Of course, we are social human beings and we need to be dependent on others, but not in everything, not in every way. Some people have this habit to ask, friends and relatives and, everywhere they just, they can't help it. Okay. So everything, they constantly ask others for help, for different things, for little things that they need. Okay. They can't just manage themselves if they want to, or if they, manage, if they think, but they just ask from others. So asking people make you dependent on others, and being dependent on others will affect your personality, and that will be barrier to be self-respected person. Okay. So that is a very important thing. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the respect of a believer is in him being dependent of people, being independent of people. So this is one of the suggestion from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can say, the guidelines, how you will increase your self-respect. Okay. So the respect of a believer is in him being independent of people. So if you are independent from people, you will have honor in your society, in your family. So when we constantly say in the Surah Fatiha that, oh Allah, we ask help from you only. Okay. But it is okay sometimes to ask help from other people when you are in need, but you can't be, it can be habitual thing. Okay. It can be a habitual thing. And there is another thing Professor Hassan said, which should be noted. Become disinterested in the world and Allah will love you. Become disinterested in the wealth of others and people will love you. So this is another, the love in the wealth, the love of wealth, love of this dunya affect in our personality, affect in our self-esteem and self-respect. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love us if we can manage to have not interest in the world. Of course, we need to eat, we need to live. So that's why we are dependent on the things which are in the world. But there is one thing that you are doing for survive, and there is one thing you love. So you cannot love this dunya, you cannot love this building, you cannot love these cars, and money, that doesn't mean that you are not using it. You are using it because you need it, just for survival. Okay? So in this dunya, there are a lot of things are needed. So that's why you are going through this. But it doesn't mean that you will have a special connection with this dunya, with the car, with the money, and with your job, with your buildings, cars, homes. Okay? So these are the things of this dunya, the wealth. The more you will be attached to these things, the, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be far away from you that much. Okay? So that's why we need to focus on this particular prescription of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First, we have to be independent from the people. Okay? We cannot be dependent on others in everything in our life. And another thing, we should be disinterested in the world and in the wealth of others. Okay? In that way, we can increase our self-respect. We can improve our personality, inshallah, in an Islamic way. So this is today's lesson, inshallah. I will hear in the next session, inshallah, these things, especially the hadith, dua, and the later things, as well as the stages of hereafter, inshallah. Both of the lecture sheets will be given, inshallah, along with this video recording. Is there any question from anyone?
No.
Okay, then. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.